Welcome to Crafting Quality Resolutions, a production of the American Library Association's Resolutions Committee. The first installment in this series of online training sessions is focused on resolution form and content. The ALA Policy Manual A.4.2.3 states, "A resolution is a main motion, phrased formally with whereas clauses, stating the background and reasons for a proposed policy, advocacy position, or action," followed by resolved clauses in numbered order, stating the proposed policy, advocacy position, or action. To ensure that resolutions adhere to these objectives, we present the following 11 guidelines when preparing a resolution for presentation to Council. Here are two resolutions on the same topic. On the left, you will see a resolution as submitted for the consideration of Council. On the right is the same resolution revised by the Resolutions Committee to address the required objectives. Please note, these resolutions have been edited from their original form. Resolutions should address a specific topic or issue and clearly support ALA's strategic plan, its mission, and/or core values. The title of the resolution on the left is vague and informal, considering the intended audience. In the example on the right, the resolution acknowledges federal funding for the Museum and Library Services Act, which in turn reauthorizes the Library Services and Technology Act, the main focus of the resolution. Clauses that relate to an ALA policy must include a parenthetical notation of the title of the policy and the section where it can be found in the ALA Policy Manual. The impact and connection of the whereas clause to ALA policy must be identified. Here, the title of the policy indicates its relationship to library funding. The intent, objective, or goal of a resolution should be clear, purposeful, and present an affirmative, identifiable action in language that is concise and unambiguous and complete. The resolution on the left alludes to the value of LSTA funding but is not clear. The revised resolution clearly indicates the type of outcomes LSTA funding has brought about. It also seeks a commendation for specific members of Congress and the President who supported the act. Terms used in a resolution should be readily understood or have specific definitions. The phrase, "on both sides of the aisle" on the left is more clearly defined on the right by the specific members of Congress and their party affiliation. Language read by outside bodies should be concise, conform to proper grammar, be professional, and representative of ALA to elected officials. Avoid negative and accusatory language and use affirmative language instead. Be as factual as possible. The statement about the President, while factual, is inflammatory. The number of whereas clauses should be kept to a minimum and focus on the strongest points rather than an endless laundry list, so as to avoid diluting other whereas clauses and also having the resolved clauses become an afterthought. Writers should think about the busy readers of the resolutions, Congress, the President, and make it easy for them to get the gist of the resolution without unnecessary delays. All whereas clauses must be a complete sentence followed by a semicolon. The penultimate clause receives a semicolon followed by "and", while the semicolon in the last clause is followed by the phrase, "Now, therefore be it," as indicated on the right. Note that according to Robert's rules, the whereas is followed by a comma. If the resolution calls for a specific action or program with a timetable, the timetable shall be clear and achievable. Here there is no timetable. Resolve clauses at the end of a resolution gain in clarity, brevity, and are easier to read by following the resolution methodology of Congress and other deliberative bodies. The selected wording states the resolved phrase only once. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the American Library Association, ALA, on behalf of its members, after which each separate resolved is stated directly in numbered order, if more than one. In most cases, the number of resolved clauses will mirror the number of whereas clauses to address each specific concern. This resolution is an exception since its sole purpose is a commendation only. All resolved clauses within a resolution should start with a capital letter and use the singular form of the verb, for example, supports, provides, urges. Here, the singular form commends is used. And lastly, resolutions, including memorials, tributes, and testimonials, must show the initiating unit, mover and seconder, and provide specific contact information from submitting parties. A resolution without a sponsor, as seen on the left, will not be presented. And that's it.